Hey YouTube, what's happening? It's Richard with the Next Gen Hospitality channel. In today's video, I want to review sort of the orthodoxies of traditional hospitality and point out flaws or problems that we see and solutions. So let's dig in. So just for reference, my team has put together this PDF. We've actually used it and sent it out to investors and others. So I'm gonna actually read it rather than just ad-lib it. So if you see me checking my phone, it's because my team has done great work. Thank you. So the question is, what is an orthodoxy? Orthodoxies, simply defined, are pervasive beliefs that often go unchallenged and create blind spots in organizations. These orthodoxies tend to shape strategy and often prevent unconventional solutions from being considered. Whilst the list of orthodoxies in hospitality goes on, we've defined a few we are challenging today across the customer journey, and I would encourage you to do the same. So let's start with the pre-arrival. The traditional way of hospitality, the selling efforts only go up until the point of purchase. Like once somebody buys, the selling efforts are over and that's it. The booking is consummated and you're done. But we believe at Stomp Capital that a significant amount of value exists in managing the relationship pre-arrival. So we do onboarding before somebody comes and we ask questions like, who's coming? What does success look like? What would be a win? What do you want to avoid? What are some of the things that we should know about who's coming in your stay so that we can customize and create something that's exceptional. And let me share with you what we call it. We call it proactive hospitality. Think early engagement, a la carte services, and pre-trip planning where there are opportunities to increase total revenue per available room night through ancillary services. Increasingly, we found guests are comfortable with virtual support and onboarding in today's digital world. This is no longer a cost-saving trade-off for a subpar experience. This is now remote support that is as effective, if not even more effective when done properly, creating a custom experience for a very valuable guest, and they know it. So let's move on to the second thing. Upon arrival, the traditional orthodoxy is that the arrival experience begins on site where the front desk staff are waiting and they're required for check-in and they're asking for your passport and your credit card and swipe this and fill out the form and all of that. That's the traditional approach in hospitality. However, again, at Stomp, we're reinventing that. We're thinking about what's worked for us in the past, what we've enjoyed, what we would like to experience personally, and we're extending that same form of hospitality to our guests. And so the way that we think about it is that arrival actually begins on the way to the destination. By using a little creativity, you can set the tone or mood before a guest arrives. Think of a curated playlist for the drive out or a hosted virtual tour of the space before stepping foot on the property. Providing guests with wayfinding designs up front, clear signage upon arrival, and thoughtfully curated in-room directories are effective methods. In practice, we found guests tend to actually prefer this approach versus being interrupted in what they would like to do, stopped by the front desk staff. And then there's always that really awkward moment when they say, would you like a tour of the hotel or can I show you your room? And they're showing you like, well, here's the safe and over here's the ice maker. And you're just kind of like, I've been traveling for hours. I really just want to let my hair down and take my clothes off and take a shower. And could you please leave? And yet you don't want to be rude. And so you go through the motions. But at the end of the day, is there really a lot of value added in opening the closet and showing me that that's where the safe is? Or, hey, here's the minibar. Like I can kind of figure that out all on my own. But what would be really helpful is if you shared with me in advance things for me to consider, add-ons, a la carte amenities, experiences, journeys, tastes, treats, like things that I might want to do that the person that's in my room at 10 o'clock at night showing me the safe isn't explaining to me. So we challenge that. The third one is on-site. So now you've made it to the location and you're on-site and you're actually like living there. And traditional 5-star hospitality requires white glove service, daily housekeeping, and significant staff. And although significant staff is a very large expense, it can be worthwhile if they're adding value. But if you stop and dissect what this significant staff and labor expense is actually doing, you quickly realize that you could eliminate a lot of that. And instead of deterring and detracting from the guest experience, you could actually be adding value through privacy. In our experience at Stomp, we believe that 5-star experiences are heavily influenced by setting and expectations, right? Like that's the definition of disappointment. When your expectations are here and the reality is here, you're disappointed. But what if your expectations are here and what you receive is here, you're delighted? So let's drill down on that. 5-star experiences are heavily influenced by the settings and the expectations. We believe conflict arises when expectations do not match reality. Operators should be upfront and honest about the experience they are enabling. Focus on the few but impactful moments that matter, and work to surprise and delight in simple ways that drive more meaning than the complimentary bottle of wine, right? So now you need to be creative, and you need to be thoughtful, and you need to know who's coming and what success looks like. But when they're on site, that is the time that you can provide joy and surprise and delight and excitement and enthusiasm and really drive and create those memories. And by the way, we have a cameo special guest appearance, none other than the lovely Ms. Bossy, my fiance, who was the director of hospitality for us here at EdgeCamp Sporting Club, is asking me to provide an example. And she won't do this again, because now watch. Come on over. Hooray! Give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely Erica Bossy.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
So give an example of what we've done on site to delight guests.
So one example is here in the Outer Banks, we had a father that was booking our big house, our 14-bedroom, to celebrate his oldest daughter getting into a Division I school to play lacrosse. And so he had invited all of her friends, and he went to, it was actually really quite amazing. I mean, he booked the house and all of his amenities. I ended up curating and putting together from Paris. So it was a true test to remote work and remote concierge and being able to deliver that and execute. And fortunately, we've got exceptional contractors that we work with here in the Outer Banks, and so we were able to do it. Separate and apart from that, when we learned his why and that he had booked the house, the reason for him coming was to celebrate his daughter. You know, we look for these hero moments. How do we make our hosts look like heroes, right? And so there's nothing better, from my personal experience, than making a dad look like a hero in his kid's eyes. So we learned that she was accepted to Kent College. So we went out and, again, utilizing our vendors and our feet on the ground, we purchased streamers and cupcakes and some decor, you know, locally. Brought it in-house. The personal chefs that had been hired, again, just our feet on the ground, ended up decorating the upstairs so that when the father came upstairs, as well as his daughter and all of her friends, it was just completely taken over by Kent colors. And he was really blown away and surprised. She had absolutely no idea that he hadn't orchestrated it, and through her eyes and her friends' eyes, looked like a total hero. So hero moments that just, you know, looking for the opportunity to take it one step further, to make it memorable. Yeah, we lean into the soft stuff, so it was awesome.
Now, don't you think she should have her own YouTube channel? I mean, what am I doing here? Thank you, Scooter, that was incredible. And I think that what I would just add is that really requires care, right? Like, you have to care about who's coming and why they're coming and what they're doing and so on. And so we could have easily found out that this daughter graduated and was going to Kent College and left it at that, maybe done a really simple thing which just said, you know, congrats on Kent. But if you know Erica, everything is over the top. And so all the floral arrangements and all the cupcakes and all the streamers and all the balloons and like the whole house was, I don't know what the Kent colors were, they purple and gold or something like that? Blue and gold. But so now imagine dad walking in and he's surprised and he's delighted and he's like overwhelmed and overjoyed. And his daughter's like, I can't believe my dad did this for me. These are the moments that create true relationships and create and delight. And you can't put a price on that, right? That MasterCard ad, which is like, what's the cost of this, this, and this? That's priceless. And if we keep doing that time and time again and in various locations and for various people, we will win over traditional five-star hospitality, where all they're doing is giving you that perfunctory, here's your bottle of wine, congratulations on Kent, right? Like, we're so over that. So the final orthodoxy to discuss is departure. At a traditional five-star hospitality hotel, the guest experience literally ends the moment they check out of the property. You get an email afterwards with like your invoice or your folios, what they call it, and that's like all of your charges, and that's it, right? And the way that we kind of think about it is that a guest checkout is just a point in time in a greater relationship. The relationship with the brand is just beginning. They've had an experience, and this is just the beginning of a relationship. So we've discussed community as a mega trend in the future of hospitality, and we believe it will make or break top operators moving forward. Returning guests are the highest value customers and the greatest promoters via word of mouth, and that's the most important thing you can have in your business. So one could argue that marketing spend is equally, if not more impactful, on retention initiatives rather than driving new customer acquisition. Community and retention are one and the same. If you build a strong community, you retain guests for a lifetime. So whereas Whereas most people say, thank you for coming and visiting us here at the Marriott. We'll see you later. If you have any more questions, please let us know and book in the future. We really open with the departure as a point of starting the relationship and growing that relationship. And as we add more properties in different locations with different amenities, with different experiences, these valued VIP guests that we have a relationship with, we can cross-promote, we can cross-sell. That you like Nosara, have you been to the Outer Banks? You like kiting, have you been surfing? Do you like skiing, right? So like once we have these relationships and we have it in our CRM, we know who likes what and how to do it, and we can inform them of new openings, things that are adding value, right? Like you don't want to blast them where it's irrelevant, but as you develop this relationship and you fine-tune who likes what and what is important to them, we send communication that's relevant and targeted to them. They feel heard, they feel seen, they feel like an individual, and that is lacking in today's traditional hospitality. So do me a favor, please give a shout out to the lovely Erica Bossi. Wasn't that spectacular? Who wants to see more of her? I do. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.